esdeekid's recent popularity has brought about a lot of discussion surrounding the Scouse accent, and I think that from a social linguistic standpoint is one of the most interesting accents in the entire English language. The Scouse accent is an accent spoken in Liverpool and the surrounding areas, and it's primarily categorized by two things: its rough and sort of throaty quality, and by how much other Brits hate it.
What is the worst accent in the UK?
Liverpool, a Scouse accent.
Seriously, the way that other Brits talk about the Scouse accent, and by extension Scousers, is kind of ridiculous. But why do they seem to hate it so much? Research hasn't been able to identify any sort of universal traits that determine what accents or languages are pleasing or displeasing to hear. And the data suggests that whether or not we like or dislike an accent is dependent entirely on how we've been conditioned to feel about it. So why have Brits been conditioned to hate the Scouse accent? Well, the reason goes back all the way to where the Scouse accent came from. Liverpool, being on the western coast of England, has a lot of Irish heritage. Since the 1700s, Liverpool has been a pretty major port city, with lots of Irish traders and immigrants. And immigration from Ireland only increased after the English government deliberately starved the people living on the island in the mid-19th century. And so because of Liverpool's Irish history, the Scouse accent shares a lot in common with Irish English, or Hiberno English. For example, both accents tend to affricate word final T sounds, turning them into TH sounds, and both feature heavy word initial TH stopping, where a word initial TH sound becomes a T or a D sound. Anyways, as a result of that aforementioned mass starvation campaign, the Irish people living in Liverpool are obviously not too happy with the English government, and may feel more culturally connected to Ireland than England, and so Liverpool becomes sort of a cultural hub of Irish culture. Now, many colonial powers find themselves in positions like this. They will destabilize another country, resulting in a wave of mass immigration from that country, and those people bring their culture with them. And almost always, the colonial powers respond to this increased multiculturalism by stigmatizing the new cultures. France responded to immigration from its Muslim-majority former colonies with Islamophobic legislation. After the US got involved in the Second Opium War, it spurred a wave of Chinese immigration to the United States, and the US responded with the Chinese Exclusion Act. And the wave of Irish immigration following the Great Hunger resulted in mass anti-Irish sentiment. In 1882, when reporting on a violent conflict that happened in Ireland, the English newspaper The Spectator wrote that it was to be expected that the Irish would be violent because they are a scarcely civilized people. This became the common narrative surrounding Ireland, and by extension the largely Irish Liverpool, that Scousers and Irishmen are lazy, uneducated drunkards. This is what drives English people's negative perception of the Irish accent, and then by extension the Scouser accent. So next time you hear a British person talking badly about the Scouser accent, I want you to pay attention to these recurring ideas of Scousers being uneducated or lazy. That is a result of decades, if not centuries, of cultural conditioning.